So actually, that's where things got a bit funny. So I transferred from the UK to Japan, and I got fired on my first day at job.
I work in Google for the past 5 years in my life, and although I feel that it is the best job in the world, I still feel stuck.
This is the story of Krista and Dilla, previously co-workers in a big tech company. They have been friends for 8 years until one day they decided to get together again to start a startup. In this video, they will tell you a secret of how they were able to reach 2 times month-on-month growth since their launch in March 2024 and also get an annualized revenue of $100,000 in just 5 months. We must say it is a mix of coincidences and fate, but here's their story.
Hi, I'm Krista.
I studied economics as my major, but later I turned into a digital marketer. I work at companies such as Google, Danone, the FMCG, Line, the chat app, and this is where I met Dilla.
Hi, I'm Dylan. So after graduating from ITB, I actually go to Line as my first job, and that's where I met my co-founder, Krista. So I started as a business development, marketing, and then I'm actually transferring to product management at Line. Some of the products I ship, including Line Today, if you're familiar with it. And afterwards, I moved to Grab, work with the regional team in Southeast Asia at Grab team, build multiple products such as the Hope Stream feed. Then I actually transferred to Cookpad, based in the UK. So I spent 4 years in the UK building various products from social products, premium products, and including one of the most notable social features at Cookpad called Cook Snaps. So actually, that's where things got a bit funny. So I transferred from the UK to Japan, and I got fired on my first day at job. At work. Well,
I work in Google for the past 5 years of my life, and although it is the best job in the world, after 5 years, I feel stuck. So this is when I actually took a mid-career break. I went to a summer course in Stanford to learn about entrepreneurship. And in this class, I learned a lot about business tools to start a business. And I also found that in Silicon Valley, there are a lot of talks about AI. Now, I believe AI is actually the tool to make the next industrial revolution, but I just can't figure out what would be the best real-world problem to solve until I call Dilla.
so afterwards, Krista called me while I was in Japan, and she mentioned about her interest in AI. And actually, I told her that, hey, there's this big problem around cross-country matters. So we decided to join Antler together as a team. And along the way, we tested a lot of ideas together.
We decided to join Antler in October 2023. We got funded in January 2024. And when we joined Antler, we pivoted with a lot of ideas.
So the initial shape of SPUN was kind of like a tax platform for digital nomads. So we want to solve problems for those who travel frequently across countries, and they can make sure that they're always tax compliant. But then along the way, we tested it and it was failed miserably. So we shipped it, pivoted it many times, and finally we come up to the shape of SPUN today, modernizing global permit and visa creation process.
Antler program helps us to experiment our idea in a safe environment. In this program is called bootcamps, whereby we need to test an idea, we need to make it go to market and basically test it to real customer, and then come back to Antler, and then they will basically judge and also give us inputs on how we did in that idea.
So in the process, we actually build a very hacky solution in a local platform, and then we conduct interviews with 20 plus digital nomads globally. And we even visited Bali for actually selling our product directly to the users and gain first-hand experience and insights from real users to really hear what big problem that they're facing. And all in the end, visa as a topic comes back really often, and we decided to really focus on that. So Antler has really helped us a lot along this journey. So number one, they gave us mentorship. So our mentor was a digital nomad himself, struggled with visa situations as well. And number two, they gave us a time box approach. So within 3 months, we could actually test and validate a lot on our ideas. And we even get to validate it directly within our cohort, as one of our first users is actually a fellow batch members from Kazakhstan. And last but not least, connections. We meet 60 plus very talented individuals that eventually we hire our own founding team from within.
So this is Antler's office, and let me take you to Dila. So Dila will show you how our user journey looks like.
All right, here we go. So essentially, it's pretty simple. Someone can just choose their nationality. Let's say they're Indonesian, want to go to South Korea for tourism purpose. Then they can just see the options that SPUN has for them. There's single entry, multiple entry, double entry for whatever purpose that they need. So let's say they prefer multiple entry. So people can actually see the whole detail of this visa right in this page. Because in SPUN, you will know exactly, number one, when you will get the visa exactly. So in this case, on 3rd of September. And number two, if there's any issue, we will actually guarantee your refund. So we are making sure that your application is safe with SPUN. So afterwards, users can just sign up for an account at SPUN and create the application directly from our dashboard. So user can easily upload the documents in this page and they can see exactly what is the status of each and every document. So for example, when someone is uploading their passport, we will check directly with our AI to make sure that it is compliant with the government requirement of how passport photos should be. And whenever, for example, they're uploading their bank statement, we will also check and make sure that number one, they have enough money to begin with, and number two, that the whole content is not fraud. Because what we do not want is we are processing something that is not compliant and can potentially cause issues later on for the users. So after that, just wait for a while, depending on the waiting time for your visa, let's say 3-4 days for this particular visa, and then we will tell you when it's ready and ready for pick up or perhaps download it directly if it's an e-visa. So it's fun. The process is as easy as 1 to 3.
With 99% completion rate, in which we have lots of happy customers from all around the world, such as Isaac, the student internship organization, who send lots of interns from globally to Indonesia, and lots of frequent travelers from Indonesia abroad to countries like the UK, US, Schengen countries, New Zealand, and UAE.
Since our full launch in March, our revenue has been growing 2x month on month. And after 5 months, it has come into 100K annualized revenue.
We owe a lot of thanks to Antler even after the investment. We got invited to Demo Day in Singapore, met 3,000 plus audience and lots of investors along the way. And we actually got engaged to a lot of events that Antler do locally and got a chance to present our solution in front of lots of investors as well. And we actually are listed as one of the perks for startup founders within Antler community. So whenever they want to create visa to Indonesia, incorporate within Indonesia, or enter a new market in Southeast Asia, they can actually get our help directly. And last but not least, Antler has been our mentor and loyal customer since day 0.
If you have the power to turn back in time, what would you do?
Looking back, I always thought that whether am I too old in the game, am I too late to start a startup, or will I, if everything goes to fail, will I be able to get a chance to climb on that corporate ladder that I've already climbed so far? I believe although starting a startup early in the game actually poses less risk, but if you're starting a startup mid-career as well, you probably already know how to manage people, how to manage your finances, and how to manage stress, in which very important to build a sustainable startup.
If you have the power to turn back in time, what would you do?
I'm not going to change anything. I think everything has happened in the right place at the right time. Had I not been fired from my previous job, I wouldn't meet Krista again and think of this problem to solve. And thankfully as well, at around the same time, Antler is opening a new batch. So I could join the ID5 batch and meet a lot of great people and start SPUN. So I think everything is there for a reason.
We hope this story of Krista and Dilla from SPUN inspires you to create something meaningful, do something brave, and get out of your comfort zone. If you haven't, connect with us at antler.co/Indonesia.